evening and welcome to this edition of Newsleader on 6. Today is Tuesday, November the 12th, 2013. I'm Jim Fuller.
In tonight's news, we'll bring you video from Veterans Day celebrations across the area. Authorities are warning about a scam across the state related to the Affordable Health Care Act, and the Shelbyville Golden Eagles advanced to round 2 of the state high school football playoffs with a win over Tullahoma last Friday night. We'll have all these stories and more on tonight's Newsleader on 6. Stay tuned.
Last month's sales were so good, I need cars now to restock my lot. I'm Keith Barnett at Russell Barnett Kia, and I've come up with a plan. It's my Car Bazar. Whether you owe $1,000 or several thousand on the car that you hate, this Car Bazar is here to help you out. Do you have a job and $149? My For the People credit approval process is here to help you out. Good credit, bad credit, no problem. Hurry in before the Car Bazar ends. I'm Keith Barnett, and I'm the dealer for the people.
If you're looking for fuel, food, or fun, don't forget the Damron Brothers stores. The Shortstop has fuel, food, and beverages. The Bredesen Market has party supplies, beverages, and the area's best selection of premium cigars. The Liquor Locker carries all of your favorite brands of wines and spirits. So for all your party needs, Jeff and Jay say, come on by, and thank you for the support of our businesses.
Welcome back. Tullahoma residents honored our nation's veterans at a ceremony at the Tullahoma Event Center on Monday. Let's watch some of the comments from keynote speaker, retired General John Nassif.
Now to introduce someone who will introduce our guest speaker. I've known Major General Mike Wiedemer for a number of years and served with him as a member of the Arnold Community Council. Please help me welcome Major General Mike Wiedemer.
Thanks to all the veterans here today for their service to our great nation. Ladies and gentlemen, each year at this time, it is part of my personal method of celebrating Veterans Day to reflect on those people who in the military have served our great nation and are serving our great nation, and also to remember those people with whom I served. Today, it's my honor to be able to remember here Brigadier General retired John Nassif.
Thank you so much, Mike, for that wonderful introduction. I'm so honored to be here today, to be part of this ceremony. And I'm thankful and humbled to have served in uniform, and I'm able to be here today in good health with so much support from the local community. For there are many veterans whose service was curtailed by serious injury, who are disabled, or are missing in action to this day, or were taken as prisoners of war and suffered while they were there. And there are many good Americans who were killed in action. So I'm a person of good fortune to be here and being honored during Veterans Day. And there are many families and friends of veterans who we can't forget either, who ended up carrying on for those who were injured or never returned. So I'll share with you in the next few minutes what Veterans Day means to me. I first became aware that November 11 was a special day when I was 5 years old. That was 1946. And as one person mentioned, I'm one of the young crowd. It was right after World War II. Back then, November 11 was Armistice Day. Armistice Day was a recognition of the end of hostilities on the Western Front in World War I, which took effect, the armistice took effect on the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month, coincident with the timing of this ceremony. And Armistice Day began as a celebration in America in 1919. In 1954, it became Veterans Day because of the many World War II and Korean veterans that the nation felt should receive special recognition. Well, on November 11, 1946, I stood with my family on Main Street in that small village of McGraw, New York, about the size of Vestal, to participate in the village celebration of Armistice Day and village tribute to World War II soldiers. I watched the soldiers, the school band. I'm so happy a THS band was part of this ceremony. A squad from the volunteer fire department, which was important to the village of McGraw, the scouts, all march up Main Street to the village cemetery on the hill across from my grandparents' home. As I followed the parade up the cemetery paths, I saw the many headstones and flags of fallen soldiers. In the plots nearest the entrance, I saw monuments from the Revolutionary and Civil Wars. And further up the cemetery hill, I saw the monuments from World War I. The parade stopped just north of the World War I monuments, and a ceremony ensued. At the conclusion of the ceremony, the soldiers fired their guns in a salute to those who served. This was my first sense that November 11 was a special day.
Stay with us. We'll be back in just a moment.
When you're running late headed to that sporting event or horse show and hungry but need gas, you don't have to choose which to get. Just stop at any Quick Mart where gas prices are normal and the food is outstanding. Burgers, fries, salads, sub sandwiches, chicken strips, egg rolls, even pizza can be picked up while the gas is pumping. Stop by any Quick Mart today and not only save time, but enjoy some good cooking, southern hospitality, and prices you can live with.
Looking for a unique gift for someone special, or perhaps something just for yourself? Then you need to check out Grady Mac Denim Company, right here in the heart of Tullahoma. Grady Mac features the full line of men's and women's Lucky brand apparel. Stop in and check out our denim production line. Grady Mac offers a full line of outdoor sporting apparel and much more. And check out our custom fly fishing equipment, fine art, and signed sports memorabilia. There's something for everyone at Grady Mac Denim Company, the most unique store in Tullahoma.
Come to Jim Oliver Smokehouse in beautiful Mont Eagle, Tennessee, your mountain getaway destination. Stay in one of our 21 log and timber frame cabins. Enjoy the romantic fireplace and jacuzzi tub. Get more information and book a reservation at thesmokehouse.com.
If you're looking for fuel, food, or fun, don't forget the Damron Brothers stores. The short stop has fuel, food, and beverages. The Bredesen Market has party supplies, beverages, and the area's best selection of premium cigars. The Liquor Locker carries all of your favorite brands of wines and spirits. So for all your party needs, Jeff and Jay say, come on by, and thank you for the support of our businesses.
Welcome back. A huge contingent of Manchester and Coffee County citizens gathered at the Manchester Courthouse Square on Monday to honor our veterans. Let's watch as entertainer Naomi Judd speaks to the crowd.
All these little moments of hanging out at the 101st Airborne, we would actually go back and do concerts for the families who were left. And then we stayed in touch with some of the soldiers that went over. But I have some idea, just some idea of how difficult it is to be in the military, to lead that kind of a life, especially if you're one of the soldiers, but even for the men and the women who are left behind, and the kids, of course. So I cannot fathom what it was like as I watched them go away to a foreign country, what it was going to be like. See, looking at the fear of the unknown, and then Winona and I went to Gitmo. We went on a naval destroyer. We were doing a USO tour. We went on one of the naval destroyers. It was Thanksgiving Day. Of course, Thanksgiving is going to be next week, so this is all very relevant. But I had Wyan actually with me as we went down into the naval destroyer, all these little tiny cubby holes. And there was a man who happened to be, of course, from Ashland, Kentucky, my hometown. I'm from a one Dairy Queen town, people. How does this happen? And my mama still houses the house that I was born and raised in. But my point is, wherever you are from, wherever you were born and raised right this minute, these men and women on that naval destroyer that we visited with all over that particular Thanksgiving were from towns like Manchester. Manchester is the heartbeat of America. This is what makes America so awesome, is you guys, the way you live your lives. So we get back up to have Thanksgiving dinner in the cafeteria with the brass. Of course, everybody else had to stay on their post. And the chaplain comes over, hands me the microphone, and asks me if I would do the Thanksgiving blessing that would go out over the intercom to all these men and women who are probably crying because they can't have Granny's cornbread dressing. I just looked at Ryan Ashley like, you know, we sung at Super Bowl halftime. I've been in the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. I can't do this. But they just hugged on me, and I was able to say a blessing to thank them for the fact that, like yesterday, I was sitting in church, and I thought, you know, I can go to any church in the world I want to. There are men and women all over this earth. They can't do the stuff that you and I are doing right this second. I mean, you know me, I can say anything I want, and I usually do. I get a memo from the office the next day. But my point is, we've got Thanksgiving coming up, and then we've got Christmas. Think of these men and women who are so far away, who are doing unthinkable acts of courage and bravery so that we can be here right this second on this gorgeous, gorgeous, awesome day. And I went to Walter Reed Hospital just on my own. Of course, I used to be a nurse in ICU. I see you. Before I started singing. And I went up just to visit with the men and women who've come back without limbs, without eyesight, who have trouble reorienting into their families, who can't get a job, who have emotional scars. We read in the paper and hear the stories about PTSD and suicide and all. Today needs to be one of the biggest holidays in America. Can I get a hoorah? We cannot let this fade away. Okay, I'm going to not drop a name here. I was having dinner with Steven Spielberg, you know, the director. And Steven said something that just made my jaw drop. He said that pretty soon, all that, as I look over these scouts, all that our young generation is going to know about history, because they don't read books, is going to come from his movies. That's why he did Schindler's List, Amistad, Saving Private Ryan, of course Lincoln. But think about it. If we don't pass down these stories, if we don't acknowledge these men and women, nobody's going to know, and Veterans Day is going to fade away. That would be a national disgrace. We would all lose out. So thanks for paying attention to my rant. And I'm so grateful to this character right here. This is a good guy. Maybe he delivers your propane. You need to give him a hug when you see him in your yard. Tim Brown wrote me a letter and asked me if I would be here today. And I said, I don't care what's on my calendar. I'm coming to Manchester. And I'm so stinking proud to be here.
Be sure to tune in to Thursday's Newsleader as we bring you more video from the Manchester Veterans Day observance. We'll be right back after these messages.
Stanley Nap Chevrolet Buick GMC Cadillac knows trucks, and we're kicking off the season with the largest selection of the best trucks available. Check out the all-new 2014 GMC Sierra with a 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. It's wider and has more headroom than the F-150 and the Toyota Tundra, and right now it's up to $6,000 off. Or take home this 2014 Chevy Silverado, the truck that leads its class with up to 12,000 pounds towing capacity. So come see us today at Stanley Nap Chevrolet Buick GMC Cadillac.
Are you a shoeanista with no place local to find your style? Well, now you don't have to travel any further than Brennes Shoe Boutique, located at the Village on Jackson, 1940 North Jackson Street, Suite 120 in Tullahoma. From funky to formal, you can find the fit and style that will make you smile at Brennes. A shoeanista herself, owner Brenda Kemp offers brands like Rocket Dog, Jessica Simpson, Mia, Nine West, J. Renee, Bandolino, and more. Want that accessory splash that none of your friends have? Brennes offers a selection of one-of-a-kind handbags and jewelry with just the right bling. So if your shoe selection doesn't stack up, find what you've been looking for at a price you can afford at Brennes Shoe Boutique, now open in Tullahoma.
With over 30 years experience servicing the Tullahoma area, Mike's Tire, Brake, and Muffler has become a household name in Middle Tennessee. As a family-owned business, Mike and his wife Lisa, along with their sons Jamie, Justin, and Jody, have assembled a crew that delivers quality service to go with quality products. As the only authorized Michelin and Goodyear dealer in Tullahoma, they have become the tire store of choice, being named the Tire and Brake Store of the Year multiple times. They also rent Penske trucks and are an interstate battery dealer. So if you need tires, brakes, mufflers, a battery, or maybe rent a truck, go to the place you can trust. Call Mike's Tire, Brake, and Muffler at 931-455-5150. Located at 732 North Jackson in Tullahoma, Tennessee.
Welcome back. Former Tennessee Governor Phil Bredesen said he still believes Tennessee should expand Medicaid under President Barack Obama's health care overhaul, but like about every pundit, he believes the law's early rollout has been a disaster. Bredesen said last Thursday that launching the law and its website required 150% effort, but it got instead about 50% effort. On whether to expand Medicaid, Bredesen said he doesn't want to second-guess Republican Governor Bill Haslam, whom he says has perfectly logical reasons for his decision and for the decision he is taking, rather, end quote. Bredesen, however, framed his own stance this way, quote, "For me, it's always been a little bit of an ethical issue. We're paying our money to the federal government, and a lot of taxes come out of the state. The borrowings that are going on are the ones that are going to be repaid by Tennesseans as well. If you can do it, it seems to me that you don't refuse that money that your taxpayers are putting in. And second of all, for relatively little money, it's a way to expand health care to a lot of people in Tennessee who really would benefit from it," end quote.
Governor Bill Haslam says he's walking a thin line over efforts to fashion an expansion of the TennCare program that would suit Republican lawmakers in the General Assembly and federal authorities responsible for managing the Affordable Care Act. Haslam said he wants to accept added federal funding to add more than 100,000 Tennesseans for health coverage, but he wants significant changes that would shift more cost to the individual. The GOP-dominated General Assembly rejected any TennCare expansion earlier this year. Haslam says he's continuing to thread the needle over differences between state lawmakers and Washington. Tennessee's hospital industry says losing expanded TennCare coverage will force steep cuts in service and might close some some smaller, mostly rural facilities.
Tennessee officials are warning consumers about scam artists taking advantage of the troubled rollout of the Affordable Health Care Act, or Obamacare. Kate Abernathy is a spokeswoman for the State Department of Commerce and Insurance. She says telemarketing crooks are taking advantage of complexities in the new law and are particularly targeting the elderly. She says scams range from fake Obamacare websites, callers offering Obamacare insurance cards, and deals to help folks sign up for coverage for a fee. Abernathy says con men are also preying on seniors relying on Medicare. Callers tell folks they need a new Medicare card for continued coverage and are asked for bank account information. She says possibly fraudulent activities should be reported to the department's Consumer Affairs Division at 615-741-4737.
Don't forget to tune into this week's Living Show tonight at 6:30 p.m., Thursday morning at 9 a.m., and Thursday, Friday, and Saturday evening at 6:30 p.m. This week's guests include representatives from this weekend's 5K that pits East and West Middle School against each other in Tullahoma this weekend. Tullahoma Police Chief Paul Blackwell will give us some Christmas time safety tips, and Josh Harris will stop by and tell us about an archery program in Tullahoma that's reaching out to the kids. All that and more on this week's Living. We'll be right back in a moment with more Newsleader on 6.
The highest standard of excellence requires dedication and commitment. It's established over time. You know when you see it. You know when you feel it. There's a standard of excellence in healthcare. It's the Joint Commission Gold Seal of Approval. In 2003, Life Care Center of Tullahoma voluntarily achieved this accreditation and maintains it still today. Life Care, meeting a higher standard because residents matter most.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please, for the following public service announcement. He's back! The Watkins man is back, bringing his world-famous Watkins products to 104 East Lauderdale Street in Tullahoma, where Richard and Stephanie Carpenter have opened the area's only Watkins store. Since 1886, Watkins has produced all-natural products, starting with the pain liniment and now including soaps, oils, creams, scrubs, royal jelly, beeswax, supplements dedicated to natural health and pain management, cover total external and internal body care. And don't forget the world-famous spices, extracts, teas, and cooking ingredients. With too many products to list, know that all Watkins products are 100% natural, using the highest quality ingredients obtainable. Always remember, with Watkins, when you buy the best, you use less.
We're losing it, Doctor.
Not on my shift. Quickly, brush. Roller.
What a transformation. It's gonna be okay.
Okay, nothing.
At Paintworks of Tullahoma, we specialize in domestic emergencies with Martin Senior paints. You can be the paint doctor, too, when you treat your home with Martin Senior interior and exterior finishes.
Doctor, we've got another one.
Got you covered.
Paintworks of Tullahoma. Come see the paint doctor, Stat.
From the beginning, the Corley quadruplets were completely identical. They did everything together. They even recorded the same shows on their DVR. Until one day. Fortunately, Charter offers 4 DVRs for only $19.99 a month. Now they can record and watch their own shows and live like the free-spirited individuals they've become. Get service on 4 DVRs for $19.99 a month with Charter.
Welcome back. The Shelbyville Golden Eagles advanced to the second round of the TSSAA football playoffs Friday night with a win over Tullahoma. Jim spoke with head coach Jason Hardy about his team's win.
We had a good night. First home playoff game in 17 years and first playoff win in the last 7 or 8 years. So good atmosphere, nice weather for a playoff football game, and anytime you can come away with a win, of course, you're very happy.
It started off probably not the way you would have liked it to. It kind of turned out in the end the way the last 6 or 7 games have turned out as far as score-wise, but you might have had a little concern there to begin with.
Yeah, I didn't think we played terribly well, maybe a little nervous. I'm not sure, fumble early and get in some adversity early, have our leading tackler, not even get to play a snap on defense, so we didn't start the way we wanted to, had some penalties, and we'll go and try to fix that stuff, but we did settle down, and the way this team's played all year, no matter if it was good or bad, our kids rally around and make plays and find a way to get it done.
You mentioned your leading tackler went out on the first play of the game, and I guess that's something a lot of us maybe did not know. How is he doing, and do you expect him back this week?
Yeah, Michael Imes, he's our leading tackler. He kind of twerked his knee a little bit, tweaked his knee, and he don't think it's real serious. We hope not, but definitely couldn't come back in the game last night, and he's a big part of our success this year and one of our leaders on the defensive side of football, and great special teams guy. So we're hoping to get him back, and to the credit of our kids last night, they had some people step in, fill his shoes, and did a good job on the defense side. But we definitely hope he's ready to go next week.
Of course, you played Tullahoma earlier in this season in a very close game. They won, I think, 36-33. Last night was a totally different story. Did you see a different Tullahoma team last night than you might have seen earlier?
Yeah, I seen a lot of things. Number one, I thought Coach Oliver and the staff done a great job. I thought defensively that they really got on to us and put us in some tough situations and kind of tweaked what they had done earlier in the year. Had a good game plan. The biggest difference, obviously, was offensively. They looked a little bit limited in the passing game with some injuries out, and of course the tailback who's been injured, but gave us a little different look, and but they were a little bit more one-dimensional, I'm sure, than they'd like to be. But they did a good job, had a good season, and they gave us a really hard-fought battle there, especially early in the first half.
We'll be right back in a moment with your weather forecast.
On the train test range, the search for any possible weakness continues. It's hard to stop a train. Really hard. Train, the most reliable for a reason.
Hello, my name is Joe Stroop with Stroop's Accurate Refrigeration. I'm here to talk to you about a couple incentives that are going on between now and the end of the year. First is your federal tax credit up to $300. Secondly, 0% financing up to 15 months on XL products. Third, fall promotion up to $1,100. Finally, $500 incentives from your local power distributor. Please give us a call at 455-8757. Thank you.
Welcome to Merle Norman, located inside Northgate Mall in Tullahoma. Since 1931, Merle Norman Cosmetics have been researched, developed, manufactured, and packaged in the USA, using the highest quality ingredients and unmatched customer service to help women look and feel better about themselves.
Hi there, I'm Christy Almacher, owner of Merle Norman. I want to talk to you a little bit today about Merle Norman products. We have a large line of skincare and cosmetics for all skin types. Merle Norman's motto is try before you buy, so we'd love for you to come in, talk to us about your concerns, try the products, and we want you to feel good when you leave here, so we hope to see you soon.
Want to feel good in your skin? Visit Merle Norman in Northgate Mall, Tullahoma.
All right, the cat's out of the bag at Carroll Street Liquor in Tullahoma. Now you know where to go if you're planning a get-together and want the ideal wine or spirit. Party planning can be stressful, but at Carroll Street Liquor you'll find everything you need. Mixers, gift sets, and all of your favorite spirit brands. So if you're feeling the pressure to pull off the ideal party, come to Carroll Street Liquor and select among the seemingly endless supply of wines, spirits, gift sets, and more. Your perfect party, it's in the bag with Carroll Street Liquors.
Have you heard the news? The Russell Barnett Ford family has expanded to 2 separate locations. That's Russell Barnett Ford of Tullahoma and Russell Barnett Ford of Winchester. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. That means 2 times the customer service and 2 times the inventory. So no matter where you're located, let the Russell Barnett Ford family make your next vehicle purchase a great one. 2 times the inventory, 2 times the customer service. That's the Russell Barnett Ford of Tullahoma and Winchester. Why buy anywhere else?
Welcome back. We'll take a look at your weather forecast at this time, starting with your weather history on this day. Our record high was in 1938 at 77 degrees. The record low was in 1950 at 22 degrees. The average high on this day is 62 and the average low is 39. For tonight, look for clear weather with a low of around 24. Sunny weather in your forecast for Wednesday with a high of 48 and a low of 26. Mostly sunny weather expected for Thursday with a high of 56 and a low of 37. And that's our Newsleader report for this evening. We invite you to join us each Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday at 6, 8, and 10 for Newsleader on 6.